Live updates. If you hit that watch live button there at the bottom, typically when we have severe weather moving through, we will be on there giving you updates, keeping you informed on the weather as it's passing through. You can also take live looks at the radar by clicking the top of the screen. Now you'll see Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV also on the screen right there. That is the 11 Alive Plus app. That's of course not for your phone. That's for streaming extra weather information and extra news stories that sometimes don't make it on TV. You can watch those special updates. Again, Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Another great tool with that 11 Alive Plus app for those platforms is you can catch the newscast whenever it's timely for you. Let's say you wake up at 8 o'clock. The morning news is over. You missed the morning news with Aisha, Cheryl, Chesley, and Crash. Well, guess what? You can still watch that newscast when you want to watch it. You don't have to wait then until the noon show starts to catch up on the news here in Atlanta. So again, download the 11 Alive Plus app, a great tool there for you. So let's talk about the eclipse now. You can also catch some stories talking about the eclipse on the 11 Alive app, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it right now. The eclipse starts on April 8th, starting at 1:45 for us here in the Atlanta area. The peak is going to be at 3:04 in the afternoon. 80 to 85% of the sun's going to be covered up by the moon. We will still have a fairly dark sky here, not as dark as the path of totality, but it will still be pretty amazing. And then of course the eclipse will come to an end at 4:21. Now there's something else that could eclipse us from seeing the eclipse. It could eclipse it all. That would be cloud cover, right? We want to make sure the clouds are out of here so we have a clear sky to be able to see the eclipse. Unfortunately, we are going to have some clouds in the sky. We have a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy sky as we head throughout the afternoon in the Atlanta area on Monday. We are going to have temperatures there in the 70s, and then you see we could even have a few showers possible there for far north Georgia, with far north Georgia picking up on a little bit of shower activity there, something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on. Moving through the forecast track, you see temperatures are going to be sitting in the 70s there for highs for today. Moving into tonight, we drop back down into the 50s, partly to mostly cloudy here in the Atlanta area to start off Monday. Now let's move into the timeline for the eclipse. There it is. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy here in Atlanta. The further southeast you get, the better chance you have for a little more sunlight. But unfortunately, far north Georgia, we're talking about a lot of cloud cover, even some showers. This is around the time of the peak. Remember, 3:04 is the peak. At 3 o'clock, we're going to have temperatures sitting in the 70s, 60s there in the far north Georgia. A little bit of isolated shower activity, a little bit more sunshine, though, well south of I-20 for Edenton and LaGrange before we head into the evening hours, and then the cloud cover moves out a little bit there just at the very end of the day before it thickens up big time when we get into the day on Tuesday starting off. Notice also Tuesday, a few showers out there, moving away from the eclipse and talking about our rain chances now. You see the shower activity there for Tuesday and Wednesday. Once we move into Thursday, we're going to see that chance for even more rain with even the possibility of some strong storms. You see just a slight chance for rain there for our Monday. Moving into Tuesday and Wednesday, scattered showers, and then we have storms scattered to widespread there for Thursday morning. Could be some really wet conditions there. Moving through the timeline on the forecast track, you see that we are going to have strong storms again possible mainly for the morning on Thursday. This is at 5:30 a.m. These storms will continue to kind of move off to the east, and then some lingering shower activity will be possible, not any stormy activity, just regular rain there for Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and then we'll get some cooler and drier air in here by Friday. So from Tuesday through Thursday, a majority of our rain is going to occur over the next 7 days. It's going to be pretty much within that 3-day time frame. And how much rain can we expect over the next week total? So you can like anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. Some of these spots where you're seeing some of these orange colors starting to show up here, that's going to be where we could get up to 4 inches of rain. Some of the reds, that's up to 3 inches. And these dark purples, that's about 2 inches. So it's going to be pretty wet out here from Tuesday through Thursday. It's going to just add to the fact that we're moving away from that drought situation we had a couple months ago. Again, the drought monitor updated on Thursday, not even any abnormally dry conditions anywhere near us. We have picked up a ton of rain already for the month of April. You see that we are trending still very wet for the month. We are already up to 3.41 inches of rain for the month of April, and we still have a ton of the month to go. If we just get a half of an inch more of rainfall, which remember, we're expecting that just over the next few days, then we will already have all of the rain that we needed for the entire month. So again, plenty of rain here expected. Looking at the forecast here in Atlanta, or we're looking at the amount of rain that we've already had, you see that we've already had more than 7 inches of rain than our normal year to date. So we are ahead on rain for the year by a ton, and I would expect that trend to continue here as we head throughout the next couple of weeks, because again, it does look like it will stay fairly wet out there. For the Braves today, again, it's going to be great weather to check them out. Go ahead and head out there to Truist Park. Should be a fun day. 77 there for the high then on Monday. Looking at Tuesday through Thursday, scattered showers and then storms there Wednesday night to Thursday morning. Really, Thursday morning is going to be when we have a bulk of the storm activity before cooler air moves in Friday. Just a brief hit of it, 50s for lows, 60s for highs, and then 50s for lows, 70s for highs moving into next weekend, looking like some pretty good conditions there. But what about the 8 to 14-day weather outlook? We're looking beyond the next 7 days now. We're now looking towards the end of the month of April, really kind of middle to end of the month of April. Looks like we'll have around to maybe just above average rainfall, and then temperatures will be above average. That would be temperatures in the mid to upper 70s for this time of year. So warm weather lovers, looks like we're going to have some more weather like that. Now I want to talk about something else that came out within this past week, and that is the first forecast by Colorado State University for the Atlantic hurricane season. Now you may be saying, wait, Colorado State University, what do you mean? They're putting out a hurricane forecast? That's actually one of the best universities in the country whenever it comes to hurricane research and also tracking the tropics. So you would think that it would be somewhere along the coast, but it's actually Colorado State. They have just some great researchers up there. And they are forecasting a well above average hurricane season. On average, we have 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 of those hurricanes become major Category 3 or higher. But the forecast put out on April 4th was 23 named storms, 23 named storms. 11 of those could become hurricanes, and then 5 of those could become major hurricanes. So that lets you know a very active season. Our first name on the list would be Alberto, and we then go to Beryl, Chris, Debbie, continuing our way down through the list all the way till we get to Valerie and William there at the very end. Of course, a very active season possibly ahead of us. The Colorado State University researchers, they say that the biggest things that are happening are us transitioning from an El Nino to a La Nina, which means that we have less wind shear out over the Gulf and the Western Atlantic. When you have less wind shear, it creates a more stable environment for these hurricanes to be able to develop. And I say stable, a better environment for them. It's really more of an unstable environment, really, whenever we're talking about hurricanes, but it's a better environment, rather, for these tropical systems. And then also, we have warmer weather in the Western Atlantic and in the Gulf. And so with those two things combined, you can very easily end up with a lot more tropical cyclones. Hopefully something will transition though and we end up having a weaker season, but right now that forecast, there's a lot of confidence in those numbers. But again, we'll keep you updated throughout hurricane season right here at 11 Alive. Let's talk a little bit more now about what we can expect here at home over the next 3 days. Your Peach State outlook, or your Georgia forecast all across the state, showing that they're going to have some nice warm conditions down towards Albany, but you see that we all end up with some rain chances really developing here by Wednesday. It will be drier though for Monday and Tuesday for much of us. Moving into the Georgia State Park forecast, you see that we are going to have good conditions over down towards Skidaway Island. I know a lot of people may be headed to Georgia State Parks to watch the eclipse. I want you to look at Immaquillola Falls. That's not far from Springer Mountain. Maybe a couple of people wanted to go watch the eclipse on top of Springer there at the beginning of the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. Likely going to be cloudy, okay? That's important to note before you make that hike. Cloudland Canyon's looking cloudy. Sweetwater Creek, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy at times. Tallulah Gorge is going to be cloudy. Skidaway Island, a lot more sunshine. Of course, that's way down by the coast, though. Fort Mountain looking like more clouds, and then Providence Canyon, even more of a partly cloudy to mostly clear sky there further southwest of the Atlanta area. And then, of course, that path of totality, that's going to be further off to our northwest. Honestly, I've been watching a lot of the weather forecast models here, and it's looking like areas down towards Texas. Let me actually add a pause point right here to see if I can showcase this a little bit better. It's looking like points down towards Texas all the way up till you get to northeast Arkansas are going to be cloudy. So the path of totality is going to have a lot of clouds in it. It will be clear from northeast Arkansas near the Jonesboro area through the Missouri Boot Heel and off to the northeast up through northern Kentucky. They may have a little bit clearer conditions, but the rest of the spots looking like it's going to be really cloudy, unfortunately, for this eclipse. But of course, we'll continue to keep you updated. We're going to have live coverage right here at 11 Alive during the eclipse tomorrow. Make sure that you tune in, and of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.